Hey, hey, good morning. Welcome to another week of move sessions. We have Tuesday, Wednesday on the docket this week. Thursday, I have to head out of town for my son's final high school baseball. Well, it's not high school baseball, it's club baseball, but final baseball game before he goes to college. Next week, you guys, oh my gosh, I'm having those mom feels, you know, where you're like, your heart starts to break a little bit because your kid is leaving home, even though like a few years ago I couldn't wait till my kids left home. But anyway, Tuesday, Wednesday live sessions this week. Today we're going to do legs, tomorrow we're going to do upper body, a little bit of core both days. If you are joining me for the first time, I want to first of all welcome you and say I'm glad you're here. And I want to give you a couple pointers as we get started to, first of all, take everything at your pace, especially if you're just starting a workout regimen. Be sure to be mindful of like the cues your body's giving you, if you need to stop, if you need to rest, if you need to change something. The most important thing when you're just getting started is to start, is to just show up, and don't worry about the quality of it. Don't worry about how awful it is. You know, don't worry about the fact that you can't do things that you used to be able to do. Just show up. Just start. My mantra this morning, as I did my speed workout, which is something that I'm just starting myself. So it is clumsy, it is ugly, it is messy, it is awkward, and it feels very much like, I guess, imposter syndrome. Each week, as this is the third week that I've done it, I tell myself, just start. Just don't do nothing, right? So just show up. Just focus on showing up in the beginning. What I say to people who are really, really new, really just starting, is just do the warm-up. The warm-up is going to be about 10 minutes. We are starting this first round with low, no impact. And you're welcome to keep the entire 3 rounds of warm-up to low, no impact, if that's what's right for you right now. And then turn the video off and go about your day. And do that as long as you need to, but the key in the beginning is to get yourself to just show up. So welcome and, you know, congratulations for being here. And like I said, take everything at your pace. Stop anytime you need to, modify anything you need to, change anything you need to. And again, give yourself grace in the beginning. If you've been showing up, if you've been doing this with me for a while, push yourself. Try to go a little bit heavier with the weights today. Try to, you know, focus on your form. Focus on good technique. Focus on your breath, right? Congratulate yourself for being consistent. Consistency is king, you guys. Consistency is what it's all about. You know, I'm coaching my own self through all of these things this morning because, like I said, I just started doing speed sessions. I don't even like calling them speed sessions because they're not very fast. My paces are not, you know, nothing to write home about. So I think of them more as hard effort sessions. I don't look at the numbers. I don't worry about the numbers, right? The metrics. We get so caught up in the metrics sometimes. Or, you know, what it looks like, right? It's not pretty. This is week 3, and I'll tell you guys a little story that has nothing to do with, okay, first of all, we're going to add a hop here. It has nothing to do with working out or fitness or health. It has to do with money. So money and saving money and investing money and having good, healthy financial habits was a key focus for me this year, because that is an area in my life that really needs a lot of work. Let me just say that. You know, I have dialed in my health, dialed in my fitness, and dialed in my nutrition. But when it comes to money, it needs a lot of dialing. Let's put it that way. So one of the things I thought, well, I'm going to apply all the principles that I apply in the areas of my life where I'm doing well, and apply those to the areas of my life that I'm not doing well. So you might be somebody who does really well with your financial habits, your professional habits. Maybe you need to do the opposite. Maybe you need to flip the script and apply, take a step back and think about why am I successful in these areas of my life, and how can I apply those same habits to the areas where I'm not doing so hot. So for me, it was money. So one of the things that I tasked myself to do as of January was I have these 3 envelopes. Yes, envelopes, not bank accounts, envelopes. Where my goal was to put aside a very small amount of money. $50, you guys, it's $50. $50 in an emergency fund, $50 in an investment, and $50 for savings. So $150 a month. And let me tell you, first of all, is anybody going to miss 100? Am I going to miss $150? Well, I can make an argument for both sides. Because every month when it comes to putting aside that $150, I'm like, I need to pay for this, or I need to pay for this. But I have been pretty diligent about forcing myself to pay myself first. It's like one of the first concepts of wealth accumulation is pay yourself first, right? Not shop for yourself first. Not go spend on yourself first, but pay yourself first, okay? I get these principles mixed up. So pay myself first. Caveat here, I am not a financial planner advisor, so I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm just sharing with you something that I'm working on for my own personal gain. So $150 a month. So it was good. Well, I missed a month, and as with anything, you miss one day. How easy is it to miss that second day, right? Once you miss that first day, how easy is it to miss that second day? And once you've missed the second day, you've pretty much written off the habit, right? So I missed the 1 month. I forget what month it was. It was probably May. And then I think I missed June. It's still July, so I still have hope. I'm going to the bank today to get my $150. And I did pay myself for June. So I missed 1 month, you guys. Anyway, I'm getting off track here. So here's the keys that you need to understand. $150 is not a lot. It's also like at the end of the year, I'm going to have, $600. It's going to take me an entire year to have $600 in savings, right? Because 12 months times 5. $600 for investments and $600 for emergency. Okay, that's a joke, right, you guys? Like, I'm almost 50 years old, so I'm not creating mass wealth here. But here's the magic in it. And here's why we don't do this. It's for that very reason. What is the point? At the end of an entire year, I'm going to have $600 in savings. I'm going to have $600 for investments. What am I going to invest in for $600? Here's the magic in this. And it hit me yesterday as I was looking at those envelopes. So I pulled them out. You know what I do have? And not yet, it's not a year. I have something and not nothing. And that's where it hit me, right? It wasn't about accumulating mass wealth in 1 year. It was about establishing the habit. And you know how excited I got pulling out those envelopes yesterday and seeing a few $100s sitting in them, which is not going to ever save my life, or I'm not going to invest that money and get rich off it. But you know what I have? I have something, not nothing. Do you know how powerful that is? Like, hugely powerful, you guys. And so when you can move yourself into a 1-minute walk every day, right? Are you going to become like insanely fit after walking for a minute for 365 days? Maybe not. lose weight, maybe not. If you can, journal for a minute, 5 minutes, whatever, every day for a year, I will tell you, consistency compounds no matter what. So, yeah, I might not be making groundbreaking strides in my financial life, but you know what I am doing? I'm creating a habit, and I have something instead of nothing. And that is huge. And you know how motivating that is to look at those envelopes and see something instead of nothing? I'm sorry to say, it is hugely motivation. No. Okay, we're going to do we're going to do Tabata today. And we're doing legs. Okay, so I'm just going to set my clock up. I'm going to tell you guys I'm lagging a bit today. It is stinking hot. Oh, that fan feels so good. I literally finished my speed work today and I stood in front of the fan and just tried to cool off. Okay. So we're going to do box squats. So if you're new, these are great for newbies. You're going to be nice and close to the box and you're going to tap your butt down. Okay? That's going to be squat 1, and then squat 2 is going to be goblet squats, where we're going to go nice and low into the squat. Okay? If you've been doing workouts with me for a while, try to go a little heavier on the box squats. Okay? Try to go a little heavier on the goblet squats. So here's the magic too, is when you can create a collection of those habits, those little habits, how you know that they're the right kind of habit for success is if they are in fact one of those habits, like I said, that feels like it's insignificant. It should feel insignificant. It should seem like you could just as easily not do it as you can do it. That's when you know it's the right kind of habit. Because it is just as easy for me to not, okay, so goblet squats next, not save that $50 per envelope, so $150, as it is to save it. So if I had done $100 in each envelope, so $300 a month, it's a little bit more impactful on my life, right? So it's a little more, but here's the thing. When it's next to nothing, you have to discipline yourself to do it, right? So I missed a month. I missed the second month, but I made up for it. And I haven't done this month, but I'm going today to get my 150, because now I realize because I guess I have probably about $900 or $1,000 in those envelopes now. And it's like, for the purpose of each envelope, it's nothing. But in its entirety, right, when you put it all together, it's significant. And it feels really good to have something instead of nothing. So the key is to do those things that seem like they're insignificant instead of doing nothing, because nothing gets you nowhere. Something gets you somewhere. That is the bottom line. Nothing's always going to get you nowhere. But something, you don't know where that something's going to take you. And what often happens is you'll do more than that minimum. So let's say you start to discipline yourself to go out for a 1-minute walk each day. You might end up doing 5 minutes. You might end up doing a kilometer. Had you decided not to do anything, you're not going to do more. Like, nothing is never going to compound to more, right? today I had to use that concept to get out to do my speed work. I was getting in my head about the entirety of it. You know, I do five reps, but I gotta do a 4K warm up. You know, I gotta do a 2K cool down. So yeah, I can go out and do those 5 reps, but these are nowhere near heavy enough, I gotta say, which is a good thing. But last set, or last leg exercise. Right. That is round 1 of our leg workout. We're going to step ups next. So you're going to need a step or a stair, anything that you can step up on. If you're new, we're going to do this without weights. If you've been doing this for a while, you can go heavy, as heavy as you're good with, or perhaps as heavy as you have.
Activity completed.
Man, I'm telling you, I am feeling the effort today because of the heat. So again, modify as you need to. Here's the thing, I always talk about, you know, beginners modifying things. Sometimes I gotta modify things, but based on the day. Sometimes you gotta just be honest with yourself, you know, where you're at that day, right? Today's speed work was not as good as last week's speed work. You know why? First of all, because it's the 3rd week in a row, so you're starting to get tired. Secondly, because it's stinking hot. And thirdly, I'm just going to say it was just that kind of day. You know, it was just the kind of day that, okay, I'm just going to skip ahead here. All right, 1 leg at a time. So up, get your balance. These are great for runners, hikers, ultra runners. I do a lot of these for my climbing training. In fact, this entire workout is really designed for me. Great for you too, but it's for climbing because that's what I do a lot of in my events. But if you're a runner, great because they're all one-legged exercises. I mean, the first round wasn't, but the idea behind the box squats is you want to go heavy and work on those quads. And the idea behind the goblet squats is you want to go deep and work on your range of motion and your glutes. Losing my balance here. I could have snuck another one in there. Kind of copped out on that last one. Anyway, so I told myself today, you know what? Just go out. I was getting in my head about what it's going to look like. Like this is what I do a lot with speed work. So I don't know if you guys can relate to this with regards to anything that you're procrastinating on. But with speed work, it's like, I'm always like, well, can I do it? Like can you do what? Like, can you run fast? Like, you don't gotta run fast. You just gotta run harder than you normally run. And then it's speed work, right? But I get in my head like, well, will I be able to run fast today? Will I be too slow? And so sometimes, here's the thing, I'm not gonna get faster if I don't just do it in the beginning. So sometimes I just have to tell myself, go out and do it and be okay with whatever it looks like. So say when you're coming in here to do your strength workouts, can I do it today? Will I be able to get through it? Will I have to rest? Well, it doesn't really matter, right? Like, if it's a horrible, ugly session that you just suck that day, isn't it still better than doing nothing? We have one more. Of course it is, right? So I call it like just letting myself off the hook and putting the time in. Anytime you're starting something new, it's going to be okay to suck at it, right? But you can't get to the point where you don't suck if you're not willing to suck. I know that sounds obvious, but isn't that what keeps us from doing like a lot of things in life? Our unwillingness to suck at it. Oh, another great example is we're gonna actually do front lunges today, not rear ones. We'll need those again. Activity completed. Front lunges are going to work on our quads. I'm a little tight in the lower back right here. I'm not sure if it's from the speed work or if it's from the workouts last week, but that's what we're going to do today. So we're going to do, so you're going to elevate your front foot. Very, very small elevation. So I have a flat. So you could even use one of these plates. You really want something very, very shallow for the elevation. And then you're going to elevate one foot, and we're going to do lunges on that leg. And that's going to work the quad. I look at my son, it's very inspiring. I was talking to him about this the other day because he had this goal last year. He knew he had to get faster as a runner. He's a center fielder. And so he had a specific time he needed to get his 60 yard in under 6.8 seconds. Oh. And so, oh my God, guys. He had to start doing some new exercises, right? And so anytime you do a new exercise, you feel like imposter syndrome, right? Like you're like, I can't do this how it's supposed to look. Do you guys ever feel like that with regards to something that you're trying to do? You're like, you look at the people who are good at it, I don't look like that. I do that a lot with running. I look at runners and I think that's not what I look like. And so I won't do that because I'm supposed to look like that and I don't. So I'm just not going to do it. Do you guys do that with anything? Oh, goodness. But then it occurs to me, like, that person didn't always look like that they've trained to get to that point. They had to put the work in. You know, they had to learn that, no matter who they are. And so I'm just at that place where I got to put the work in and learn it. And be okay with being clumsy and awkward, and not good at something. Otherwise, you never get good at something. Hope that makes sense to you guys. Even lifting weights, I feel really different now. Sometimes I do moves now I've been doing a while, and I think, man, this feels really different now. Like, different good. Oh, we got one more per side. That was it. You know? Sometimes I tell myself it's easiest when you suck because there's no expectations and the only way to go is up, right? And so it's like, embrace that being a beginner part where, you know, like if I'm doing speed work today, like there's really no expectations because I just gotta go faster than I usually go. But eventually I'm gonna get better. And then I'm going to have expectations, right? And so sometimes it gets harder the better you get because, you know, you raise the bar. Okay. Oh, I'm pooped today. You know, usually I do my speed work, well I shouldn't say usually, it's only 3 weeks in, but I'm not usually trying to do a leg workout after. I usually do my leg workout the day before. It's a lot. Okay. We're gonna actually go to reverse lunges next. Reverse lunges are actually gonna target the muscles that support the kneecap. Which is great if you have, you know, bad knees. It's also really good to help improve your balance. So, all good things for us. We are going to use this one more time. Okay. How inspired are you guys by watching the Olympics? Does it make you want to work harder in the gym? For me, kind of. All right. We're going to try this one today. Not till the buzzer goes, though. I'm literally just dripping. I use my towel between the next sets. Okay. I love those fresh days with crisp air. So you're stepping back into the lunge. Now, if you have bad knees, or you know, if your balance just isn't there yet, first of all, do it with no weights. Or secondly, you can just hold the lunge and do lunges like this, a static lunge, right? If that's better for you where you're at right now. Meet yourself where you're at. And then focus on just doing, you know, your best right now. And your best will improve over time and consistency. And that's the magic. You don't have to be any better today than you are today. Your goal is to get better tomorrow, right? Or the next day or the next day. you do hard things, you build, David Goggins calls them calluses, right? You know what calluses do? They protect you, right? Like if you have calluses on your feet, you know, they file them down, of course, but you keep a little bit of them. Why? Because they make you tough. They toughen that area. They make it more resilient and less vulnerable, right? So we're building our calluses by showing up and doing things that are hard, doing things we didn't necessarily want to do in the outset of them, right? I was talking to someone yesterday who said it's just so hard. It's just so hard to change habits. And it is, but a lot of it's in how you look at it, right? Like if you look at the habits that you're trying to change, a lot of times what we do is it's like a bad relationship, right? Somebody abuses us, right? A person abuses us. And why do people stay? Because they're always focused on the good, right? And they block out the bad. They block out the toxicity of that relationship, right? They block out the abuse. And they focus on, but when it's good, it's so good, right? And that's what we do with our habits. We focus on why we love them and what we're going to be losing without them. Like, you know, with wine for years, I'm like, but if I give up wine, you know, I don't have that enjoyment in the evening that I love every night. What I was not focused on was what it was taking away from me, right? Like I was focused so much on what it gave to me. I wasn't looking at what it was depriving me of, which was far more than what it gave to me. And that's what we do with our habits, I think. Is that it? Yes, that was it. Okay. We don't look at what we're gaining by giving them up. We look at what we're losing. So when we're wanting to avoid our workout, we're looking at all the ways it's going to suck and not the ways that it's going to feel good or what it's going to do for us or how it's going to feel after we're done. Okay, we're going to do our Copenhagen's. Yes, guys, Copenhagen Day.
Completed.
It is Copenhagen Day. So, those of you who are new, who aren't ready for Copenhagen's yet, Copenhagen's are an advanced move. There's no two ways about that. But what you can do instead, I'll show you, is side plank. So this is your option if you're new, is you can just hold side plank. What you can do is stack. You can also do it on your knee. Okay, so those are options if you're beginning. If you are ready to try Copenhagen's, you can start with your knee up like this. And if you're a seasoned Copenhagen woman, you can do straight leg. I'm working towards using a weight, maybe next week. That's what my son does. He puts a weight on his leg. Not there yet, but I feel like I'm ready to start trying those. Copenhagen's are hard, and they literally work every muscle in the body. Like they're gonna work your core, they're gonna work your inner thighs, which is a really hard muscle to get to. They're gonna work every part of your thighs, really. And they never get easier. They're gonna work your arms, your shoulders. Okay, so you're gonna turn around and do the other side. If for some reason that felt easy to you and you're too fit for it, what you can do is do 4 on one side consecutively and then switch. It does make it significantly harder. Yesterday, I looked out my window and I don't even know why. It's almost like the universe was trying to send me a message through my thoughts, right? I saw snow on the ground. There was no snow on the ground. It was like an image that flashed across my mind yesterday when I looked out my back window. Just sort of like a memory flashing, right? And I'm like, okay, I don't mind the heat. I don't mind it. I don't love it, you guys. Like I struggle in this humidity. Just, cause look at me, I'm sopping wet. And this is, you know, I'm gonna go have a shower, I'm gonna put on my people clothes, and I'm still gonna be sweaty if I'm outside, doing nothing. So that's my thing, is I get tired of being wet all the time. And it's hard, right? Like, I was actually listening to a podcast that said, running in humidity, like this kind of humidity, the humidity that I live in, is somewhat equivalent adaptation-wise to running at altitude. Now, that didn't bode well for me last year, although I'm not sure how much humidity I actually trained in last year, because I went out to Colorado. It's hot there, but it wasn't humid. But anyway, they say humidity has a lot of the same physiological effects on us as altitude. And so as soon as the humidity lifts here, you know, you struggle through the summer, and then the fall comes, and you have this amazing magical surge of fitness. And what it is that, you know, you've created all these physiological adaptations, and then once that adverse, you know, situation has changed to a more comfortable one, you know, you're all of a sudden your fitness kicks in. So that'll be fun. But anyway, if you're struggling working out and moving through the humidity like I am, then know that you're making crazy, amazing adaptation and physical gains. And you'll see them as soon as the weather cools down in a couple weeks. A few weeks, I guess. Last one. Okay, we're going to do something we haven't done in a while, which is a wall sit, and that'll be our last one. I'm going to just put this away while I have a little rest, break, catch my breath. So a wall sit, you're just going to need clearly a wall somewhere in your space. Just realized I didn't turn the lights on in here today. And if you want to, a weight. So I'm going to use a weight.
Activity completed.
Okay, you guys, this is it. So I'm going to grab a 10-pounder. We're going to go to wall sits. Hopefully you're working out in air conditioning, unlike myself. But if not, then I'm going to just say, congratulate you for enduring these conditions today. I do have a fan, I gotta do it. I have clients that come Mondays and Tuesdays, and I always feel so bad for them. I can't put upon them what I'm not gonna do myself, so. We're resting 10 seconds, and then we're back into wall sit. Okay, and double up now. Pulling that belly button in, pressing the spine into the wall. 5 more seconds. Out of it. A little rest. We got 6 more to go, you guys. Getting my nails done today, guys. Totally off topic, totally not your concern, I'm sure. Color should I get? Should I go bright or should I go light today? Kind of thinking light. But you never know what's going to happen when I get there. Sometimes I get there and I just look at what my nail lady has on her nails and I'm like, yep, I want that. That's what I did last time. Four, 3, 2, 1. How many we got left, you guys? Is anyone counting? We got 4 left. One at a time. That was my mantra this morning. And I wrote that or posted that as a tip in my story. Focus on one at a time. Don't focus on what's to come. Don't focus on what you've already done. Focus on the moment, persevering through that moment. One, like in running terms, it's like be in the kilometer you're in. Run the kilometer you're in. This becomes more and more important the further and further you go, or the bigger and bigger the task in front of you gets. It becomes more and more important to focus on what's right in front of you, because what we do is we overwhelm ourselves, getting too far ahead of ourselves, right? I don't know how many more there are. Right, who cares? Just be in the one. Can I do one more? Yes, I can do one more. That's how I get through speed work and hill repeats. Can I do one more? Yes, I can do one more. Yes, I can do one more. Yes, I can do 5 more seconds. Can I do one more? Yes, I can do one more. Do I need to do one more? I don't know yet. Yes, I do. Yep, I do. Moving the weight around now. Breathing through it. Focus on your breath. Pick a point on your wall or your floor that you can stare at. Zone out. That was it. How great is that sound? All right. Thank you for joining me, guys. I will see you guys tomorrow. Remember, no session on Thursday this week because I am headed to my son's baseball tournament on Thursday. So have an awesome day, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for upper body.